Hey Animal Crossers, and welcome back to Meowopolis, my Cat City Animal Crossing island where I do not time travel or use any cheats. My goal is to turn this island into a city complete with 10 cat villagers. I've been making great progress on the city part. I've got some roads laid out and a little bit of decorations, but on the cat side of things, I am very empty-handed. After numerous villager hunts and campsite visitors, I am still starting this month with no cats. If you like Animal Crossing videos, you're in luck because I post daily shorts and weekly videos, so be sure to subscribe and join your fellow Animal Crossers. And if you haven't seen the previous monthly updates, be sure to do so before watching this one. I've officially survived my 4th month on Meowopolis, so let me show you how it went. If you remember from last month, we ended the final week with Scoot's thought bubble and his revelation that he was ready to move away from the island. This meant that we were ready to kick this week off with a villager hunt. I'm not hoping for any specific cats, I'm really trying not to be picky, but I would love Raymond or Kabuki. You might have seen the video where I went villager hunting. If you did, then you know the sad outcome. I uploaded it quite a while ago. This video is kind of late, it's not up to date with the short series. It's summer in this episode, but in real time, fall is upon us, and I've been visiting a ton of autumn themed islands to get cozy and embrace the season. I went to this island recently and I loved how they used perspective builds, especially here where it looks like a city in the distance. It was like stepping straight into Lilliput, a hidden miniature world waiting to be explored. And that's the magic behind today's sponsor, Animula Nook, a cozy Lilliput fantasy life sim where you'll shrink down into a magical miniature world right on your desk. In this upcoming game, you're a wish weaver exploring Minitopia, a town built out of everyday objects like sugar jars, teacups, and matchboxes. During your time at Minitopia, you can plan on meeting adorable little residents called Minis, each with their own quirks, gifts, and stories to share. The more you connect, the closer they'll grow, and some might even move in if you build them a space they'll love. You'll also have tons of ways to express yourself in this game. Customize your character's look with different outfits, hairstyles, and details. The clothing is so cute, I love it so much. In this tiny world, sunlight, raindrops, and breezes become valuable resources. Scattered coins, buttons, and trinkets are not just materials, they're lost treasures waiting for a new purpose. Animula Nook is cozy, creative, and takes you to a Pixar-style fantasy world where every expedition is a new adventure. Wishlist Animula Nook on Steam now so you can start your own adventure in Minitopia as soon as the game releases. Thank you to Animula Nook for sponsoring this video. I was only able to gather 12 tickets up for the hunt. Yeah, I know, it's not a lot. Turns out getting Nook miles while not time traveling in this game is extremely time consuming. I should probably just save up a ton before I go on another hunt, even if another villager moves out, but every time that I see that open plot, I just can't help myself. I thought that my Raymond themed outfit would be enough to summon a cat villager on this hunt, but I ended up with another autofilled plot instead. I wasn't surprised to find out that the autofill villager was Hamlet, since I already had my hopes destroyed during the villager hunt, and I was expecting anyone but a cat. I seriously was feeling like I had a curse or something at this point. It's been 13 weeks since I started the island, like how could I not get a cat yet? At least I was able to visit Money Rock Island during the villager hunt, and that got me enough bells to pay off my next home loan. Feeling sad from no villager, at least I was able to find something to be happy about. And I moved so many of the items off of the ground and into storage. If you've been following this series, you probably know that it has been a struggle of mine to have enough storage for all of my items. Some of you even asked how I was able to accumulate so many items, and the truth is that I buy almost everything from the Nook's Cranny every day. My goal is to catalog most of the items in the game so I can always buy them from the Nook shopping app, and I just want to have a huge collection of items to choose from whenever I decide that I want to build something. Maybe that's why I don't have any bells for all these home loans, because I keep spending them on more items that I don't have storage for. But since I did pay off another home loan this week, I was able to clean up all the messy item piles around my island and still have a little bit of room left over. It was so satisfying, and now I can take my time paying off the next loan, but don't worry, I didn't get too comfortable. I actually started paying it off right away because I knew I would thank myself later and regret it if I didn't. I also decided to rearrange the front room of my house since I had all the items available from storage now. I don't have much to use, so I went with this cozy vibe and included a cute little kitchen and workstation. I thought this would be very practical so I can craft DIYs, change my outfit, or cook recipes all in the room right when I walk in. At the end of this week, I had this sudden realization that I can now customize the exterior of my home as well, so I went ahead and ran to the plaza and asked Tom to do it. This is an ability that you unlock as you pay off more and more home loans. I don't know when I unlocked it, but I'm glad I remembered. I decided to make my house a blue coastal theme to match the road pathway that I've been using on this island. I love the way it looks so much, even if it made me want to redo the entire front room I just designed to make it match, but that will have to wait because I don't even have items to do that yet. The villager hunt at the start of the week might have been a bust, but at least I got to end things on a good note. Since I was able to get my storage situation all sorted out last week, I really wanted to spend some time this week working on the overall island design. Before getting into that though, I had to check my campsite because there was a villager at the start of this week. Y'all, it ended up being another tiger villager. If this was a tiger only island, we would be so set, don't even get me started. And if you know anything about Twilight Island, my first attempt at a no time travel forever island, I actually wanted that to be all tigers. And I was struggling, so honestly, it feels even worse to have this happening now. It seems like tiger villagers are the most common species that I've come across during Meowopolis gameplay so far, and I don't think it's funny. Animal Crossing gods, if you can hear me, why are you doing this to me? Anyways, back to designing my island. There are two big things that I wanted to accomplish for this week. The first was to pay off this bridge that I placed all the way back in week 8. I know, it's been like 6 weeks since I placed this, but my item piles were getting out of hand, so I had to focus on my home loans, okay? The bridge just kind of got left behind, but it's okay because I'm gonna take care of it now. The second thing I wanted to do was organize my farm area, which is over here in the bottom left corner of my island. The bridge was more of a long-term project that would require me to slowly earn bells to pay it off over the week, so I went ahead and got started with the farm while we worked on that in the background. Starting with this giant mess over here, there was furniture, villager homes, trees, moss, all of this stuff was right in the way of where the new farm area needed to go. I slowly moved the trees one by one to other areas on my island, and then I moved Naomi and Colton's houses to nearby beaches to keep them out of the way. I downloaded this really pretty brick design code to use in this farm area and just around the island in general, since I don't want Meowopolis to be entirely paved with the blue road. I mean, I still want that to be like the main island pathway, but I wanted to have some variation around too. I'll put the brick code up on the screen for anyone who's interested in downloading it. And by the way, I do have a Pinterest board with most of the designs I used, which is linked below. I organized my farm and orchard. I didn't do anything super fancy. I just put everything into simple rows, and then I added a little bit of the brick road too. And voila, now we have an organized farm. I logged in one last time on Friday to make a final attempt at finishing the bridge loan that I had been slowly working on throughout the week, but yeah, I had not managed to pay it off yet. It was August 1st that day as well, so I kept my eyes peeled for any new critters, but only managed to catch one new fish species. CJ was visiting my island though, so I did some more fishing and managed to get the bridge loan down to 70,000 bells. I know, it would only take like one more inventory of fish to pay that off, but I was pretty tired at this point, so I decided to leave it for next week. And since I was able to get the farm fixed up, I was feeling pretty good about my progress. Week 15 started with a weekend of earning bells to pay off the bridge loan from last week. Starting off the week with that taken care of left me feeling so motivated, so much so that I finally started to prepare on designing my island. I have big plans for my island's layout, and I wanted to make a lot of progress on that this week. But on Monday, when I logged into Meowopolis, I noticed that Shino had a thought bubble over her head. I know, I should be more excited for another opportunity at getting an open plot for a cat villager, but I love Shino. She's definitely my favorite Series 5 villager, and I've loved having her on my island. I was kind of hoping for her to stay a little bit longer, but I did talk to her and let her go. And I know that I said I was gonna wait for more tickets to do a bigger villager hunt, but I just couldn't help myself, y'all. I was able to spend Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mornings grinding for Nook miles to get as many tickets as possible before Shino moved out. I put so much work and effort into this, doing so many random things around my island. I spent hours earning miles, and by Wednesday morning, I had, wait for it, 12 tickets. Yeah, I'm sure you can guess what happened. If you didn't see my silent villager hunt short video, I will play it for you now. So yeah, the villager hunt was just like the last. I found no cat villagers and ended up planning to let the plot autofill. I wasn't optimistic, but I was still hoping for good luck with the autofill. Like, I don't know, maybe we could get lucky and get a cat. At least I found Money Rock Island during the villager hunt, which helped me get some bells for the loans that I've been drowning in, but still, it's hard to celebrate when my Cat City Island has been in the works for so long without a cat villager, not even a single sighting. While I waited for the plot to autofill, I was able to do a lot of different things around the island. I decorated my backyard some with a cute table set up and some food, made another seating area in front of my house near the entrance, and I even placed a new bridge kit going across the river over here since it's always so annoying to have to get my vaulting pole out when I want to go across to the shops. I didn't get started on paying the loan, so we'll see how long it takes for me to get this one built. At the end of the week, I logged in to check the open plot one last time for any autofills, and yeah, the plot still was empty. It's been all week, so I was pretty surprised the plot hadn't sold yet. The anticipation was growing at this point, and I started feeling like maybe it could be a sign that something big was coming. I was excited for the next week. This autofill plot is kind of my last hope, so I was crossing my fingers and thinking that maybe we could end month 4 with a cat villager, if we get lucky. I wanted to give a quick recap of the weekend because I ended up playing more on Friday after the last weekly update. CJ was visiting my island and I wanted to take advantage of that opportunity to earn as many bells as I could. As we all know, my life on this island has consisted of a lot of debt so far and I needed to pay off so many loans. I spent a lot of time fishing and selling to CJ and I was actually able to pay off the new bridge that I placed last week in full. So yeah, I was starting the grind early this week. On Monday morning, I logged in to see that the villager plot from our failed villager hunt last week was still not filled. So I just continued with my regular routine of catching fish, earning bells, and maintaining Meowopolis Island. I even went ahead and placed another bridge kit and started to work on that a little. On Tuesday, I logged in to start my daily routine and immediately went to check out the plot to see if it had autofilled, and there happened to be a villager staying at my campsite, so I was excited to see who that was too. I was feeling super anxious because the build up for this was just too strange. I've never had a plot take this long to autofill. Something was going on here on the island, I could feel it. Since it's been a while since the date of this happening, I'm just gonna play a short that I made back that week that I feel like shows my raw reaction a lot better.
Oh my God!
That's right, Gigi the Diva Frog is moving in, but more importantly, Mitzi, a real-life cat villager, was camping at the Meowopolis campsite, and I was able to convince her to move into the island. We finally have our very first cat villager. After 16 long weeks and so many sad villager hunts and failed attempts at finding a cat, Mitzi is going to move in, and I vow to never let her leave. I honestly did not expect our first cat villager to show up at the campsite. I definitely thought it was going to be during a villager hunt, and even more so, I did not expect our first cat to be freaking Mitzi. She is such a cutie and one of my all-time favorites. I was so shocked by this. I wish I had my mic recording during the moment I found her because I was crashing out. I'm sure you can imagine though if you try. I'm so happy to have our first cat, but I'm also very happy to welcome in Gigi temporarily too. With all the excitement for Mitzi, the first cat of Meowopolis, I immediately started working on designing an area for her to live. Her yard needed to be so good because like I said, I'm planning to have her here forever, and since she's the first cat on the island, she gets the lucky privilege of being my next door neighbor. I built this awesome cliff area for her right down the street from my house, complete with a pond and waterfall. She obviously needed a staircase to get up here, so I needed to start prioritizing paying off the bridge I placed earlier in the week, so I could then place the staircase and work on paying that off too. And yes, I was dedicated to paying all of that off this week because I was not gonna let Mitzi live here without her yard, and she absolutely needs the incline so she's not stuck up on the cliff waiting for me to pay it off. So I hit the water and fished even more this week. I caught so many fish, y'all, and by Friday, I somehow managed to pay both of the loans off and I had the staircase constructed. With this done, the only thing left was Mitzi's actual house, so I placed her plot and she's gonna be ready to move in tomorrow, which will technically be next month. Month 4 ended up being a huge month in Meowopolis history as we finally got our very first cat villager moved onto the island, Mitzi. I'm about to become her biggest fan, y'all. I love her so much already. Next month is going to be even better. I have high hopes for another cat villager and I want to make a lot more progress on decorating and island design. Thank you for tuning in to another monthly update and for your patience as I work to get this backlog of episodes out. The 5th monthly update is coming very soon and keep an eye out for Ladybug episode 6 too. Don't forget to leave a comment if you enjoyed and subscribe so you don't miss those upcoming episodes. A huge thanks to all of our channel members for your extended support. I super appreciate the extra help. And thank you all for watching. Remember to take care of yourself and I will see you in the next video. Bye!